Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Friday. It's 10 a.m. in Chicago. Welcome to My Kind of People with Steve Brooks. It's been a long week, hasn't it, everybody? I hope you've had great weeks. I know it's tough out there right now, and the whole point of My Kind of People is to bring some joy, some happiness, put some smile on people's faces, have a bit of fun along the way, and meet some of the most amazing people I've been fortunate to connect with and come across. Our guest today is Dana Hirschberg, who's the president of a social enterprise and non-for-profit based here in Chicago. So let's bring her in and to the studio. Dana, welcome to My Kind of People.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us today and actually it's quite a beautiful day here in Chicago, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. It really has been lovely. And for me, you were saying it's tough times. And so finding those moments where you can get through these tough times, for me, it's being outside and enjoying this gorgeous weather. So I'm looking forward to that.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So tell me about HHP Lift. It's a social enterprise. It's a non-for-profit, which are two great words that resonate with me. Tell me about the business and what it does.
So HHP Lift is a nonprofit social enterprise. We do many, many, many things, and our mission really is to create business for other social enterprises who have workforce development programs, and along the way to also support, create, and expand jobs and sustainable livelihoods for people with significant life barriers to employment. And our impact is global because we work with our global social enterprise partners, but really near and dear to my heart, our impact is local. It's right here in our own backyard in Chicago, where we are providing those jobs with dignity and all other things for people from under-resourced and disinvested communities here. So that's what we do, and we get to hire these amazing and talented people through our 111 program.
Okay.
People who, when we hire them, may not even know they're amazing and talented. And what we do is we kind of unlock that, pull the curtain back on the mirror so that they can see the potential in themselves.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So how long's HHP been going? What's the history behind it?
Right. Originally, before we were a nonprofit, we were a regular old for-profit corporation, which was founded in 2007. And we knew that we wanted to become a nonprofit. So immediately we went through that whole got to get my teeth in, that whole process of filing paperwork and so forth. And it took some time. We became a nonprofit in 2014. But in between that, we became a B Corp, which I don't know, some of your viewers may know. So, and that was wonderful. And that's kind of the history. We've kind of been every formation entity you could be. And now we are a nonprofit, and we rely on donations, but also we have earned income through sales. And I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud of my sales team. The wonderful products that we make here, that the associates coming through the 111 program are doing a fantastic job. And we're in stores and gift stores, museum stores, you name it.
Wonderful.
Stores. Yeah.
Wonderful. And that's some of the products behind you. I can see that's kind of bags and cards. And I mean, what's the product range like? Just tell us a bit more about that.
Sure. So going back a little bit to focusing on our global impact, we are kind of a distributor for other social enterprises. All of the things that we make are handmade and high quality, very high-end retail quality. So a lot of the bags that you see are made by our partner in Cambodia, named Smateria. And all of I wish there was, remember Smell-O-Vision? I wish there was Touch-O-Vision. Touch-O-Vision, because all of these bags are made out of, they're gorgeous. The colors are so gorgeous, but they're made out of repurposed fishing and industrial net. So if they weren't made into product, they'd end up in landfill. So it's Italian design. These two wonderful women, Elisa and Jennifer, from Italy, design these products with the utmost care and craft and quality. And preference is given to women artisans. And that organization also provides free education for them and their daycare for their children, free health care, and a 13-month annual salary. So that's what we're looking for when we're looking for social enterprises to partner with.
That's amazing.
So that's their product. But the stuff that our associates make right here in our lab, as I like to call it, the workshop, are these gloriously smelling. One of our someone who went through the program, who's now on his career path, said his very first day on the job, the first thing that he noticed were the smells and how glorious it smelled. So I'm stealing the word glorious from him. And it does smell great when you come in. And so I have a couple of things here, but I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, sure. Candle.
Our signature candle. We also do votives. We just did a project for OWN TV. Some of our end users are Bank of America, Google, Microsoft, Coca-Cola has purchased and has their stuff with their logo on it. And when I say that we have earned income through sales, you can go to our website at hhplift.com and certainly purchase through our Shopify site, because what better gift for you or your friend than something that gives back? But also, we're very much a B2B business, and we're selling to distributors who sell to businesses for companies to put their logo on. So
that's fabulous.
Very, very deep business plan. So.
Business with meaning.
Yes. Well,
fabulous.
A social enterprise, it marries mission with markets.
Yes.
And that's what we do. And everybody here has that passion and spark to do that. I think it feels so great to come here in the morning. We start our day with a morning meeting. Everybody gets together, kind of touch base, and you really feel a sense of community here. It's not just, even though we are the job, we're much more than that as an employer. We provide support services through our agency partners. We make sure people who have housing instability have housing stability. We make sure that those new houses get furnished. We help with food instability. So it's much more than just a company that's making and selling product. We really care about nurturing the people that are here.
Superb. So tell me about this 111 program, about bringing people, into the business and as you say, giving them an opportunity that perhaps, they haven't been able to find elsewhere. I love the sound of that. Tell me more about that.
So the 111 program, and first off, I'll tell you the meaning behind the name. 111 degrees is the temperature at which the aloe and the chemicals that you need to make a candle start to melt and transform. And that's a transformation on a product, and we're looking to help create transformations in people. So that's the meaning behind the name. And again, focusing on neighborhoods and communities that are disinvested, under-resourced, overlooked. And that's not just communities where there's lack of opportunity for people in a variety of communities. So over the course of the time that we've had our program, people have been involved in the justice system. They've experienced intermittent homelessness. They've been victims of domestic violence. They've been new single moms. We have young adults who are intellectually and developmentally challenged, people who have physical challenges, people who are neurocognitively different. So we have this wonderful, glorious mix, I'm going to use Elvin's word again, of differences, and it's inclusive, and everybody is a part of this team.
That's fabulous.
That's the first part, right? So that's what we say, the heavy lifting. The heavy lifting is providing the job. Mm-hmm. And our program is kind of a 3-part program. It's the first step, it's Rise, Spark, Lift. And in the Rise, it's really helping you become accountable to yourself, for the responsibilities you have to yourself. That next level then becomes the beginning of entering our leadership and managerial phase, where it's responsibility to team. And then the thing that makes us unique is our lift off phase, which is putting you on a customized career path. Because whether you choose to rise into a leadership role here at HHP Lift or move beyond, you'll have a viable, portable career in the marketplace. Because our belief is profoundly that when you're dealing with marginalized and at-risk workforce, that a job alone does buckus. It will do nothing. And you really need to provide the support and the skill set, not just a low-level skill set, but a career for people to thrive and do well, especially in this environment, this political and social environment where inclusion and diversity and having everybody be a part and get a part of the pie is so important.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I guess what I'm hearing from you is that this isn't, these aren't just jobs. These are people that are being taken through a whole program to prepare them to go on to better things, or as you say, stay in the organization and work longer, but preparing them for better things to go on in their lives, which is just so rewarding.
What's really rewarding is seeing people, we have these other phases too. There's Lift Up, which
Yeah.
really a focus on physical and mental health. So things like community healthy lunches. We specifically partner with one of our social enterprise partners in Englewood in Chicago. It's a urban farm social enterprise called Growing Home. And we partner with them on a couple of things, but what I love is when on Thursdays we go and we buy their salads, lettuces, and fruits and vegetables, and together we're making a salad. We break bread together, all of us, doesn't matter our title or role. We clean up together, and it's just a lovely opportunity. And also it's a great time subtly to talk about nutrition. And the other thing we do for physical health, we have yoga. And when I talk to you in a moment about some of our participants from our partner organizations, you'll see why that's so important. And so that's Lift Up, and it's also one-on-one mentorship. That is constant and continual and daily. Then we have Lift University, where people get opportunities for online learning and attending seminars and conferences. So it's organic, and it's thorough and holistic. And what's really, you were saying, rewarding to see, what's super rewarding for me to see is when someone first starts and then you see them take this trajectory.
See the journey. Yeah.
And they become leaders.
Mm.
They become leaders, and they become vested and invested and proud and really good leaders, and then mentors to the next group. So I couldn't be prouder of everybody in there.
I see that in you, that proudness. I think it's so
great.
so joyful. So you were talking about the participants and your partners. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So we work with a couple of different partners, employment partners, to bring people in and to provide help and services to those participants and to those organizations. So our primary we work with workforce development programs. And the main one, our main biggie, is the CARA program. They're fantastic because what they provide throughout the employment for at least a year is incredible support services. Remember, I said a job alone isn't going to cut it. They need the support, and CARA really provides that. Although we also pull from other social enterprises and workforce development programs, we still have them go through CARA because of all the wonderful things that CARA provides. So that's our funnel for our full-time associates. We also work very closely with an organization called READI Chicago, READI Chicago, which is a randomized control study with the goal of reducing gun violence. Right. And as you know, in Chicago, this is a huge problem, and it's especially right now an inordinately huge problem. But what READI Chicago has done with their thesis, which is you invest in these guys, and it's a program for men 19 to 59, and you provide intense cognitive behavioral therapy and jobs. And we are the job. We are a stage 2 employment partner, READI. And they've been successful. And so while we've seen gun violence on the whole increase in Chicago, gun violence within the cohort has decreased. So the men in that program have been victims of gun violence. They've been most at risk for gun violence, either through victimization or perpetration. And those numbers have drastically reduced. That program has worked. Data supports that. And so one of the things, if you get to hopefully watch our virtual fundraiser, which we can talk about in a moment, you'll hear Miguel Cambray, who's the head of he's director of partnerships and strategic initiatives for READI Chicago. He talks about how the most nervous those guys were. He couldn't figure out why they were so nervous. He said, "You've been there before. Why are you nervous?" And he said, "We're doing yoga." And so these men who've gone through incredible trauma and unbelievable stories were scared of yoga. But ultimately, what he explains is that it was a wonderful important way to focus on physical health, to focus for people who are have violence as a part of their lives on how to center, how to calm, how to refocus. And so that's part of that whole lift up aspect by providing that. And I remember when the Ready Guys first came, I talked about it with our team here, and there wasn't necessarily trepidation, but there were questions. And Alicia, who also came through the program, she said, you know what, we have a lot to offer them. They'll be able to learn a lot here. And I thought that was wonderful. And they came, and there was a lot of barrier. There was a lot of trust issues. And every single person here, without us even talking about it, I'm so proud of everyone. They just went right up to them. They put out their hand, and every single person, so glad you're here. Welcome. And now it's always hugs when they come, and it's hugs when they go. And those walls are down, and it's really been.
I think you raise a very interesting point there. I think one of the things that is lacking right now, and we're going to talk about COVID and that whole kind of the way that's impacted on everybody, but that there's this lack of people wanting to take a leap of faith over virtually anything, whether it be in business or helping or stepping up. Or even just trying to meet somebody halfway. And there's a real lack of that. And to hear you say that today about people we're open to this, let's just do it. Let's embrace it is I think just amazing.
What we're trying to show other companies, and granted we're a nonprofit, is that when you invest in your people, you really build value in your brand and in your company.
Absolutely.
And to just focus on the bottom line, which is kind of a natural progression from that B Corp thinking.
Yeah.
Right? You gain so much more, especially now.
Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. So tell us about this virtual event, because I'm really keen to find out, and I know we want to do as much as we can to help you with that. So tell us all about that.
Well, first you have to understand we're very anxious about it, because this is the first time. This is not our core competency. It's putting on a show. Normally we rely, as I said, in part on donations, and typically in the past it's been with a real live event. People could come and mingle and kibitz and all that, but not this year. So on Wednesday, August 26th at 7 p.m. Central Time for 1 hour, we're putting on a show. And it's going, it's going to be hosted by the inimitable Nnamdi Nwoye, who is an award-winning improviser. His group Three-Peat, you might have seen them in various videos on Comedy Central. They're soon going to be featured in the movie The Blackening. And now Nnamdi is doing this for us. So the evening will be fun, but it will be heartfelt. You'll hear stories from two of our really successful former associates who've gone through the program and are now on their career paths. You'll hear from some of the partners that we work with, like Ready Chicago and Cara. And I'll take you on a tour. You'll get to see the workshop. People will be making some things, and Nnamdi will do his Nnamdi stuff, and he's
okay.
So,
sounds brilliant. How can people get involved? I mean, we'll share the link of where people can come in, but what's how else can people get involved? What else do you need?
Yes. So by going to hhplift.com, if you click at the top, it says tickets. And when you click on there, that's self-explanatory, but please scroll down, because there's opportunities to be a sponsor. We have a sponsorship level starting at $500, and tickets, by the way, are only $25, and I need 2,000 people to come watch us that night.
Okay.
But sponsorship opportunities starting at $500. There's also the opportunity to fund a need. For example, $111 a day helps. I can't remember exactly what the $111 a day, but it's based with the 111 program. But other needs include providing education in candle making, education in soap making, healthy lunches, yoga for a year, as I explained why yoga is so important. So please look at that. Please join. Please watch. $25. 2,000 of you, please.
Easy peasy. We'll listen. We'll get that done for everybody. We'll be all over that, and as you know, this goes out on our LinkedIn and goes through Twitter and Instagram. So hopefully we can drum up enough people. And are you only looking for that amount? I mean, can more people come along? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
so
yes.
right.
Yes. And the upside, the really nice thing about being virtual is that you're not limited to the room that people are in.
Absolutely.
People all over the world and all over the country. So we are very excited about that.
Okay. So that's the 26th of August at 7 p.m. online. Okay.
Yes.
Central. No worries. So let's just talk about what's going on with COVID and how that's kind of impacted on what you're doing. Because as you say, you know, a lot of your stuff is in partner stores and museums, and they've all been, been impacted the same as, a lot of retail and other businesses has. What have you done in the business to try and, pivot that and maintain being able to bring in the community to work and keep the organization going? What's been the strategy behind that?
Right. So first off, if you remember, right before we went on lockdown, which was the 20th, and we were so worried that we'd have to shut down completely. And wonderfully, we are considered an essential business. So that allowed us to keep at least a skeletal crew here. 1,000% manned by Elvin, who was speaking about Glorious. He single-handedly kept the doors open by being here. So that was one thing that was so wonderful, was that we were able to keep producing and keep selling. You're right. On the retail side, this is interesting actually. On the retail side, obviously stores either closed or put on pause. We had a lot of orders that were open orders to be shipped, and they asked us to hold them. One thing that my sales team came up with, this brilliant idea, was a risk-free, take no inventory opportunity for stores where we would do the drop shipping for them. So they could, amass orders from their customers, and we would drop ship for them. Another opportunity, we did that also, for example, the Detroit Institute of Art. We did this wonderful campaign with them we got to license the various Van Gogh pictures. And I don't know if you can really see, but we did a whole, because there's a glare. But we did a ton of business through that dropship program, candles, soaps, bath salts. So that was one way we helped our customers to continue. One of the things we did for our Ready guys, who, because of health and safety, that program was put on pause because they couldn't come on site. They couldn't go anywhere. So we provided virtual learning for them so that they could still stay engaged. And interestingly, so one channel of distribution is the retail channel, but another channel that we're involved with is something called So Arcade. No one's ever heard of it, but it's huge. The incentive reward recognition channel.
Yeah.
And that's a very business to business kind of channel. And what that does is it's a way employers reward their employees.
Yeah.
Okay? They recognize years of service, or they reward them for safety or wellness programs or whatever, sales numbers. Interestingly, we saw that channel of business go up because while they sent their workers home, they provided whatever campaigns and initiatives they did to stay connected with their employees. And so we started to see our incentive business go up.
Interesting.
Yeah. And our other channel of distribution, we have 5. It's I told you, we do a crazy amount of stuff. The promotional products channel, where companies put their logo on things, either to sponsor an event or to give away a corporate gift or trade show, even at the low end. That we saw a huge decrease in business because events weren't happening.
Sure.
But my sales team found great ways to connect with them and say, look, you're still having virtual meetings. Why don't you send something as a thank you? We're thinking of you. So again, this organization is filled with incredibly talented, smart people who want to achieve something.
Sure.
I feel like we're a bunch of entrepreneurially focused people, and there are a couple that keep us grounded, which is great.
Yeah. You need both. You need both. You're absolutely right. So now you've been making masks, I know.
Yes.
And I know we have.
I was going to go into that on the pivot.
So superb.
So one of the things that because the stores shut down, some of our regular retail inventory, like the bags, we couldn't sell. So we worked with that organization, and they were beginning to use the lining from the bags to make masks, and that exploded for us. So we have probably one of the this is done for Globe. This is kind of that promotional thing I was talking to you about. One of the nicest things about our mask, a new study just came out from Virginia Tech. It was just on CNN last night. Our masks fit the criteria for a good, strong mask.
Super.
You don't have gaping on the side. This is something that we've done for another organization, the Amy Krauss Rosenthal. So Humankind, I love this. And then, of course, we have others that aren't logoed that you can get. And the other thing that we did to pivot, and this was I love this. So this speaks to the program. So one of our who came through the program, and she's now manager of the whole program, Alejandra, she came up with this great initiative, this wonderful campaign. This is the height of COVID, and it was called Be a Hero, Wash Your Hands. And it was our soap to get people to really think about washing their hands. And it allowed us to donate, and we donated to hospitals in Chicago, in Texas, in St. Louis, in Boston, and doctors and nurses at nursing homes. So it was just this really wonderful, successful, and she did that, and I think that's so awesome.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. We're
That's
so
super.
proud of her for that.
That's I mean, it sounds like they're led by an incredible person. That is evident, but you have created this team around you of incredible people as well, which I think is just fantastic. I can't. That's the whole point of me doing My Kind of People was to showcase this kind of thing. That there's so much good, even though we, as you say, there's so much going on in the world that either makes us anxious or gives us cause for concern, or in all walks of life, and then there are people like you that are just filling the world with joy and happiness and doing an amazing job. It's absolutely. Yeah. Totally agree. Listen, we've got a few minutes left of today. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Yeah. So so let's just recap quickly then. So the event's on the 26th. At 7 p.m. Central Time. They can go to hhplift.com to find the tickets. Top right, scroll down. Yeah, come down. It's $25. It's the best $25 you're going to spend and do some good. There's some sponsorship opportunities. You're going to get a guided tour. We're looking for 2,000 people or more than 2,000 people. Yeah. So community, please get behind this for me, get behind this for Dina, and just click on that and be at that event on the 27th. So worthwhile, such a brilliant cause. It's been an absolute delight and a pleasure to have you on My Kind of People.
So fun. Thank you.
So My Kind of People, Dina Hirschberg, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. There you go. What an amazing story. Worthwhile organization. I'm lost for words at times like this. And for those of you that may have seen our Across the Pond interview with Rachel Romano a couple of weeks ago, you kind of get a bit emotional about those sorts of things, because this is the world that we want to live in, people. It's kindness and caring and loving, and people that and a team that is contributing in all sorts of ways. So I just want to give you a quick reminder again, 26, 7 o'clock Central, August. Just get behind it, $25 a ticket. Please be there and help this amazing non-for-profit and social enterprise, hhplift.com. I'm Steve Brooks. It's been fabulous having you with me this Friday on My Kind of People. Stay tuned for next week when we're going to have some amazing people to brighten your day and introduce them as My Kind of People. Until then, have wonderful weekends, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much.